to Talkin' Texas Forever, a Friday Night Lights podcast. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Liz.
And I have my voice back, so...
Almost
Yay!
100%.
Almost, still not 100%. I'm
Yeah.
still coughing. And right before you came in, Liz, to the Zoom, I was coughing. It feels like I have like hair stuck in the back of my throat. You know that feeling?
It's the worst. The dry tickle,
Yes.
nothing you can do about it.
I know. Like, how? This is like over 2 weeks now.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm glad that I sound a little bit more like myself. Glad to be back. We're discussing Season 4, Episode 9, The Lights in Carroll Park. Written by Patrick Massett and directed by Christopher Missiano. Original air date January 13th, 2010. In this episode, Coach Taylor and Buddy try to make a park safer for the East Dillon players. Tammy feels distant from Coach. Julie makes a new friend while volunteering. Becky faces the consequences of her one-night stand with Luke.
Yeah.
You predicted that.
I did. I was like, there's no way this is Tim Riggins' baby. There's no way.
Yeah, I honestly don't even think this show would do that. It would just be like too icky. Even though really they're only, 2 years old? Like Tim's 2 years older than her at this point?
I know that's it. But it just seems like so far from each other.
Yeah,
in their life paths are so different now.
Yeah, I agree.
Or not. You know, like, what is Tim doing? I guess we'll get there.
He's just drinking beers. What's he doing?
That's all he's doing is just drink. How does he have the money to afford beers?
Well, I mean, he's drinking the cheap stuff. So, I mean, his rent's cheap, right? And he just does Riggins rig stuff and drinks beers all day.
What a life.
What a life to be Tim Riggins.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start off with what's happening with Carroll Park. So after Tinker hasn't shown up to practice in a few days, Dallas Tinker to be exact.
Who would have known?
Who would have known? Coach visits Carroll Park, which is considered to be a sketchy part of East Dillon. And while he's there, he's questioning like, hey, has anybody seen Tinker? A 12-year-old boy is shot. And this causes Coach to want to get the lights turned on with hopes to make this a little bit of a safer place for the players who live in the town and also just the kids to hang out at night.
I loved in the chat, we were all like, Coach didn't even flinch whatsoever. Almost like, was that a gunshot? Because he didn't react at all.
Do you think he was just so much in shock?
I guess. I don't know. If I heard it, I'm gone. I don't know where I'm running to, but I'm going somewhere.
You're running. You are running.
You're running.
He just stood
or taking
there.
cover or something. Like, he just stood there. Didn't know what was happening. And this poor little boy got shot. I mean, luckily, I think he will be okay, right? He didn't die, but, you know. It's sad. Where did it come from?
I know. And so Coach turns to Buddy for help to try to get the lights turned on. Hey, can you talk to Mayor Rodell? And which Buddy's just like so Buddy in this episode beyond. He's like cringes. He's so cringy.
Yes.
And
he's the ultimate Buddy.
He's exactly. He is the ultimate Buddy in this episode.
But also like in a nice way. I can't explain it.
Yeah. He means well. It's just the language. Mm-hmm. Like when he says, oh yeah, me and Mayor Rodell had a thing before, she played for the other team. I was like, dude, did you have to say that?
You wish.
You wish. Right. Also, Buddy keeps saying he wants to take back the park. And Coach is like, no.
It was never his park to begin with.
Right. We're not taking anything back. We just want to clean it up. Buddy goes to get his barbecue order at Ray's and he tells Virgil the plan to clean up the park. And he tells him straight up, like, you're an idiot for trying. Like, there's no way that the kids are going to respond to you. It's not going to happen. But he shares with him his contact, Eldon. And he's like, this is a guy you guys should talk to. He can speak to the kids. And so Coach, Buddy, and Virgil, they meet with Eldon. And he straight up tells them, like, you need money for programs. You need support from local businesses. And it needs to be ongoing. This can't just be like, oh, no, I saw a shooting and I'm worried. Like, this needs to be like a constant upkeep and something you guys really want to participate in your time going forward.
Right. Yeah, I was really happy that Virgil was a part of it.
I know.
Because he's been so distant these past few episodes when you learn about his history with football and things like that. So I was happy to see him contribute. I guess he feels like, yeah, I would love to see this happen, but I'm busy and I have to run my business and my kids grew up in this town. So I would love to see it happen, but maybe I can try and help in some sense.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
Yeah, and while they're there, Buddy suggests a football game, like a friendly football game of the Lions versus the kids at the park. And they all think this is a great idea.
I thought this was weird.
Well, it's like everybody loves football. So it's
like,
just.
But why couldn't they split up the teams? Like,
What
we
do you
didn't
mean?
have to have like the Lions versus these new kids. We could have like, I don't know. I felt like it was like very much like these are the Lions and these are the outsiders. I feel like if we mix it up, if it was a friendly game, why couldn't we have mixed up the players?
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. Because it was a bye week, and coach says to the team, like, I don't care if you go or not. Like, this is voluntary.
Yeah.
We're just going to have some fun. Maybe they did it so it's like, I don't know. Like, you guys can be to yourselves. You guys introduce them to the Lions. But also Vince is like used to hanging out with his friends at the park too.
Mm-hmm.
He knows these guys. Anyway, so we get to game night and coach is having the lights turn on. And so he asks Eldon, like, hey, do you have any expertise on like breaking into something? So they jump a fence, they break the padlock, they switch the lights on, and the boys have a fun game.
Yeah. They performed well, and I think
They did.
the town was surprised to see how much they're starting to really be a team together.
Yes.
And
yeah.
there was a lot of, I'm sure we'll get to it, a lot of like Vince on the other side in this episode. So it was interesting to see how he is trying to be something and do better. And then he's getting smacked in the face with like all of his history and past.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we can go right into Vince. We open up, he's trying to get a job and he's facing all these obstacles because he's filling out applications and they ask if you've been arrested before and he's not lying about it. And so he circles yes, but every job is starting to think twice about him. So he reaches out to coach asking like, hey, would you vouch for me? Would you think of me if you think of any jobs, or can I put you down as a reference? And coach is like, yeah, I will do that for you, and ends up getting him a job at Ray's Barbecue.
Yeah, he thought that this was, he's like, oh, you could just tell on the coach's face, like, yes, I'm really proud of you for doing this. What's this Big Mary's thing? Is that what the barbecue place is called? It's not. It's called Ray's.
It's called Ray's Barbecue. He's Virgil Merriweather. I think they call him Big Mary as a nickname.
Merriweather. Okay. Did not understand that. That makes sense now.
Yeah. And this will continue going forward. They keep calling him Big Mary.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so, like you said, Vince is like super hesitant about this job. Also because we keep slowly learning more and more about Vince and the Merriweather's the Merriweather's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last time we saw, Vince had Jess over for dinner.
Yeah.
And his mom idolizes her.
Right. And it was like, seemed to be cordial.
Right?
And now she's like, I want no part of him. But I'm just very lost and confused. I feel like I missed an episode. I missed a chunk. Something is not adding up. Yeah, something's not adding up for me. I'm just confused by it.
Yeah, I think it's this. Vince is very much trying to stay on the right track, especially now that he's working for Virgil, right? Yeah. And Virgil like sets like strict rules. You're getting minimum wage. You're going to show up what you're going to do. You're not going to flirt with the girls. You're not going to, joke around with the guys, and also stay away from my daughter.
Right. And I think him seeing Landry, the really good guy, be with Jess, he's like, well, of course she's with him. Like, he's a good guy. I'm not. Like, he knows. And I'm sure deep down, like that self-pity of I am someone who has a past and I'm trying to be better, but ultimately you feel like you probably can't get there because you'll never like live up to what you think you can. And then seeing Landry step in, like, yeah, okay, of course, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and Landry and Jess's relationship seems to be heating up. They share this really cute moment in the car. He's going over there after her shifts to close with her. And then at the football game, Landry just goes up to Vince and like tries to explain himself. Like, let's just get this out in the open. I know you guys have a past. If you're going to hit me, hit me. And
Landry.
I know, right? And then Vince kind of just like looks him up and down and taps him on the shoulder and is just like, respect,
Yeah, he's just like, all right, it's not my time right now to do anything about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think from what I gather, and I know it obviously hasn't been said, it seems like they had once, maybe as kids, liked each other, and then they both kept on their paths but went separate ways. And then she saw that he was hanging out with the wrong crowd, getting himself into trouble. And while she's probably still attracted to him and knows deep down inside he is a good person, she won't allow herself to go there. And also, we've seen the way he has spoken to her in the past, so she probably doesn't respect that at all. But it does seem like she looks back. She stares at him for a while. It's like, oh, this is so awkward. It's like, just say something at this point. But I'm sure we'll get there.
Well, I'm curious, when we first saw like the interactions between Vince and Jess at that party, and we were like, ew, like what he said to her. I don't remember the exact words, but we were both like really turned.
He was like,
turned off by it.
Something like, you want a piece, or like something like that.
Yeah. And I wonder if at the time when the writers were writing that, they didn't really develop of what they would become. Because it seems like now, not to say Vince wouldn't say that, but their relationship just seems more deeper than that.
Yeah.
There's more of a deeper history than just this, I'm an asshole to you.
Right. It seems like they had this bond, kind of like this like deep connection, but it at some parts it seems like she's almost afraid of him, but then sometimes she's not. Like, she just seems like when she's around him she's uneasy. But I'm having a hard time reading that as, is she uneasy or is she just uncomfortable because she knows there's something there?
Yeah.
I know, and I foresee, as I predicted, I'm sure we'll get to it with questions and, and things like that, but yeah, I can see this being a real problem for my Landry.
Yeah. The last point I just want to add about Vince and his storyline is when his buddies show up. Well, not really his buddies. It's like Calvin and his new friend group shows up to the job, demanding free food, causing a ruckus. And Virgil comes out and shuts it down. And I'm just like really proud of Vince and the way he acted in this scenario. Like, he did not react.
I love that Virgil said, you're above it. You're moving on. You're better than them. And Vince is like, I'm not.
Yeah.
And he's like, but you're here and you're making a difference in your life.
Yeah.
So I hope that continues and Vince sees like, yes, how good you can be.
Yeah, I know. Becky finds out that she's pregnant from her one night stand with Luke. As we said, we're very happy it's not Tim's.
I mean, but
I'm heartbroken. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm happy she's pregnant, and
no,
she's being very standoffish with Tim, and Tim thinks it's because of the kiss they shared, and he apologizes to her, and Becky breaks down and tells Tim, listen, I'm pregnant. And also, I'm very upset with the fact that you said you regret that kiss, because I don't regret that. Yeah,
that was hurtful.
It was hurtful.
He knows that she has such a thing for him.
Yeah.
That, I mean, obviously he probably shouldn't have kissed her at all, which is a whole different entity. But just saying that when you know that this girl does have feelings for you, that is really hurtful.
I know.
And he's like, I just didn't know what to say because I thought that's what you wanted me to say. Like,
such
typical
a
Tim.
typical answer. I know.
So hearing that on top of you finding out some humongous thing about the thing that will change your life forever, regardless if it's an abortion or not, it's still that whole huge decision that you have to make. And just like on top of that, Tim being like, bet nothing.
Yeah, I mean, but obviously we see, like, Tim's not giving up. He's trying to be there for her. He tries multiple times throughout the day, like, and probably over the course of days, like, why aren't you answering me? I don't want to be like this. Like, why is it so awkward thinking it's all his fault? It's all his fault. At this point, before we see her talk to Luke, did you think it was Tim's?
No.
So you knew.
I was very, very positive that it wasn't. Obviously, it could have went anyway. But I was just like, no, I just don't see that. And they do not tell you, I guess, as on purpose, what has happened between her and Luke and what has happened between her and Tim.
Right.
And then towards the end, well, even before that, she does go to Luke, it is yours. And it could have been a whole different scenario too of like she tells Luke it's his and it's not his, or she goes, I thought she was going to say I'm pregnant to Tim and it's yours, like try and trap him, something, you know?
Ooh.
But again, this is not our typical teen drama.
This isn't One Tree Hill.
I'm always on edge when it comes to teen pregnancies and things.
I hear you.
So I just was like, I know it's not that type of show. It's not Tim's baby. I'm like, we did this with Jason. Not that it's the same scenario, but
With
Jason
Aaron?
did. Yeah, Jason and Aaron, they, had an oopsie and decided to keep it. And, that's what he wanted for his life. And while Tim does want to have children, he's reiterated that a few times. It's just not now. Not now.
Yeah. What did you think about the way Luke responded? He's so sweet.
Typical Luke. I didn't see it going any other way than that. That's just Luke's character. He was like, I just want you to be happy and you to be safe and for you to fully think this through and not to rush the situation. And he is putting it on her, but also being like, hey, I don't want to be a dad yet, but also it's something weird about me potentially having a child out there. So I don't know how I feel about it. I feel really uneasy about it. So he is voicing his opinion, but not in a way where he's pushing it on her. And that's just exactly how I pictured Luke to do it.
Yeah. He was very sweet.
And I'm sure we'll get lots and lots of questions about what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
So I will wait until our pal Molly gets here.
Yes, patron Molly is joining us for the second half of the show. I'm very excited to talk to her about this. Glenn, this storyline's still going on, but this is the end. I do promise you, but we do have to talk about it. He comes to East Dillon. He feels it inside of him. He has to apologize to Eric for kissing Tammy. And Tammy didn't tell Eric because, one, this isn't a big deal, and two, they haven't really been able to connect. And so I do, however, enjoy, and I find it very comedic in the scene where he is explaining to Coach, and you see Coach boiling and being like, okay, what else am I going to say?
He's like, you're okay with it? And he's like, well, no, but I really have nothing else.
And also, you'll be seeing me. Very funny. And so then Eric brings it up to Tammy, and they're in bed and they're talking about it. And I'm glad that this really didn't go anywhere. They laugh it off. Coach is like, great, by proxy, now I've kissed Glenn. Are you kidding? And she's just like, did you hit him? And he's like, why are you worried about him?
Yeah.
It was funny.
I liked it. I really appreciated their banter of being mature adults. And like, well, I feel bad for Glenn that they're laughing at it. It's like, hey, at least they can laugh at it and move on. They're both comfortable in their marriage. But also like, it's kind of like a light bulb. We don't really know what's happening in each other's lives. We should fix that. And then I'm sure we'll talk about Katie and Joe McCoy and how that's another light bulb of like how we should talk and are we going to get divorced? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. And so I get the device. I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
Still had to use the Glenn situation in this episode or at all.
And I feel like they added in the Joe and Katie thing just for this, just so we see Tammy and Eric needing to nurture their marriage.
Yeah, because we haven't seen her in episodes like since the start of the season, since basically him and JD and her had that whole situation. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it was kind of like, oh, let's give the audience just like kind of a summary of what happened there, because clearly I don't see Katie coming back onto the show.
No.
And the use of that device to show Coach and Tammy, this could be us.
Yeah. And I'm glad that they get their little cute date. They exchange I love yous near a lake and discuss their first date.
Yes, very cute.
Julie, she signed up for Habitat for Humanity via Tammy, and she ends up really enjoying herself. She has a little crush on Ryan, who is a part of the project, and Julie shares her honesty about how she just got out of a relationship. I'm not ready to go to lunch with you, but hey, if you want to make out, no strings attached, I'm down.
Yeah.
Listen, I give Julie credit. I give her credit.
I was surprised, but also I'm like, well, it's Julie.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not surprised. You know, she's very forward generally. So yeah, you go, girl. Also, didn't see that coming. So, I mean, I did when we saw him. I was like, oh, maybe they'll just like each other. Maybe we'll develop this a little bit. Obviously, he does seem like a rebound.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for him, because he didn't seem like he just wanted to hook up, but he was okay with just hooking up for now. We'll see if that changes.
But, like, what guy is gonna say no?
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this pretty girl's like, hey, could we get food and like hook up as well? Like, no strings attached. Like, what dude's gonna be like, actually, no, I can't do that.
I know. That's true. And I guess at that point in my life, if that was a I'm trying to think of like approached on the other end, if like I asked a guy out and they said, hey, like I'm not really ready for anything. Oh God, forget it. It's like the typical it's so biased. I'm like, my opinion is so biased. So I like the device we did here, but I'm also like, if it was the other way around, it would have been icky.
If the guy did it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's such a double standard there.
It really is true, because here we are.
Which
we're
is
like,
bullshit.
Yes, Julie, like you owning your sexuality and knowing what you want, and this is your boundary. This is what you want. And like, if a guy did it, we'd be like, ew.
I know. But then again, like you're right. Like, props to him for being honest that he's heartbroken still, but also just kind of wants a distraction.
Yeah.
But also, if you were a girl that heard that, you would be like, fuck this guy.
I know, it's so true.
I'm sorry, world. I do not mean to be like that, but like, that's the reality of it. And it's fucked up. And I wish I thought differently about it.
Yeah. I think it just depends. I know if I probably heard that, or maybe I could also see myself like being so young and being like, yeah, that's okay. And then like fully falling and then being like, shit.
Absolutely.
Right?
And like,
you got it, dude. I'm not okay.
I kind of see it maybe happening in this scenario, because it seems like, I was just going to call him Matt. It seems like Ryan really kind of wanted to go there with maybe dating or seeing where this was going. And this kind of like, yesed her into doing it, and I'm interested to see if he'll develop feelings for Julie. You know, would be cute. They're a cute little Aryan couple. So,
I mean, Matt Barr, he's adorable,
so cute,
sweet, but also all I see is Psycho Derek.
I know.
I'm like, oh, he's creepy. What's he gonna do? And he's been in so many other things, and still, I'm like, Psycho Derek, One Tree Hill.
I know, because we were scarred. That was the first.
It wasn't, though.
It wasn't, though.
He was in the OC.
Yeah.
I just didn't. He wasn't a creep. You know what I'm saying? We remember him because he played an awful character.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
He's very memorable.
He is, yeah. But that's the summary for our episode. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to have our Total Bitty patron Molly join us.
Yay.
Welcome back from break. We're joined by our Total Betty patron, Molly. Hi, Molly. How are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm good. I'm so excited to be talking about FNL.
I know. And last time we spoke to you, you were on We Are Liars, which was, I mean, you were just like a wealth of knowledge and a bundle of joy. So we really appreciated that.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so nice of you. Yeah, I'm like a podcast rookie, so I really appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
You guys make it easy, so.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay, well, before we get into questions and comments and all of the things, tell us about your Friday Night's journey.
I mean, I'm on it for the first time ever, so I'm loving it. I have cheated and kind of like moved ahead of the podcast because I'm watching it with my partner, Tyler. If you listen to We Are Liars, you've kind of heard about Tyler a little bit, but he's like a full-on fan now and had never watched it before either, and so he's like not patient enough to like wait, you know. So we are in season 5 currently, so I won't do any spoilers, but
wow.
Yes.
Are you liking season 5?
Yeah I feel like we're like at like episode, I don't know, like 9 or something, and so like we're getting
so close.
we're getting really close to the end. And so honestly, like this is so embarrassing, but I like to watch things while I cook, like things that I've already like seen or like don't feel like I have to pay that much attention to.
Yeah.
And I've just started it over while I cook
Oh.
because it's just like familiar and like I'm sad that we've gone through it because we binged to catch up with you guys. And so it's like gone really quickly. And so I'm like sad that it's almost over. So I've like honestly just kind of started it over
Like
and
you
have it
started
on
the
in the
series
background.
over or season 5 over?
Yes, no, the whole thing over.
Wow. So how are you liking like such a close rewatch essentially? Is it better the second time? Are you appreciating it in the
I
background as
mean,
you cook?
yes, yeah. I mean, I'm not paying as much attention, I would say, but like it is like kind of whiplash, right? Because you're like towards the end of the show and then you go back to the beginning and you're like, whoa, 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 hold on. Like, you know what I mean? Because you kind of forget where you are.
Of
So
course.
yeah, so I love it. It's like probably gonna be like on the top of my show list from here
Mm-hmm.
on out.
Nice.
My sister has watched it too and encouraged me to watch it because we grew up in relatively small town in Kansas, and it was very football centric. Like our high school football team was really successful for, I mean, a lot of the time I was in high school, and there's a D2 college in my hometown too, and they were really successful at the time like when I was in high school and all that stuff too. So it's just a big like football town. And so there's a lot, like, I feel like watching it, I like know people in the show. It's like, I'm not from Texas, it's not exactly the same, but I feel like there's a lot where it's like, oh my gosh, I know that person. Like,
Right. It's like familiar. You're like, oh, that
yeah,
seems like that
yeah,
would be accurate.
so it's just kind of like fun and nostalgic. And, I graduated high school in 2010. And so I'm like a little bit younger than these kids, but like close enough that it's like, it
Yeah.
feels very like my high school
Yeah.
situation. So.
Wow. What did you think about this episode? Do you have any questions or comments? Which I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I wrote as with, normally I wrote
I
everything
love it
down
in the little notebook.
in my little notebook. Well, I really liked the episode. I like struggled to, we'll get to it, but like I struggled to get to like a shittiest. Like my shittiest
Yeah,
was like a
same.
huge reach.
Yeah,
Um,
no one had shittiest who wrote
Yeah.
in. We were all like Vince's
yeah,
friends.
right. I know. I
Yeah.
thought about them at one point. I was like, them. I mean, they're being kind of like shitheads, but like also
Yeah,
they're not like shitty people per se. But anyway,
right.
so yeah, I really liked the episode. I kind of had forgotten because we are in season 5. We went back to watch this and I was kind of reminded of like how much in season 4 we get introduced to that like is supposed to be in Dylan that we just never knew about before. We like did the whole east-west situation. So,
Mhm.
and like a lot of this is about Carroll Park. And so I was like, was Carroll Park there? Is this new? Is this like in a like outside of Dylan? Like where are we at? I was like having that moment where I was like, I really enjoy season 4 and 5. Like I think that's rare for a show to be able to come in like with a whole new like slew of people you're supposed to care about. But I think they did it really well and I really enjoy it. But then I'm like, hold on though, because like the entire landscape of Dylan, I feel like has changed.
Yeah, they just created it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like seasons 1 through 3, it's like very rural and you have a lot of like driving on gravel roads and trucks and fields and you still have that, but then it like there's all this like really kind of inner city feel too. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't dislike it. I just was like, I was kind of reminded of like, wait a minute, hold on. I forgot that this was all in Dillon. Like we haven't moved.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We were just introduced to the east part.
Right. And so then I'm like, so that were they all going to just Dillon? Like what is now West Dillon?
Yeah, I remember we were talking about this when the divide happened and Kilroy, right? Isn't that the other, they were talked about like the dividing line and because we
Mm-hmm.
were confused about it too. Like wouldn't they know these kids?
I know. I wish
I don't
someone would
know.
know. I wish someone knew.
Like
I
write in
know.
and clarify it for us.
Anyway, it's just like an interesting, like you get introduced to like Carroll Park and like obviously we've known about Ray's like the whole season, but that's like a new place too. And it just, I don't know, one of those things.
I know it's true. I mean, we
Right.
don't go to Alamo Freeze anymore.
Right.
Dylan Pizza once, or Panther Pizza,
Mm-hmm.
where Maddie worked. I mean,
Yeah.
those two established. Now everything's just Ray's Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No more Applebee's. We haven't been to Applebee's in so long.
I know.
Nope.
I know. I mean, go local, right? Like Ray's over
Right.
Applebee's.
Well,
Maybe.
obviously.
Right.
Yes. And maybe it's because we're not associating with Panther Lifestyle, right? Like Panther Lifestyle was Applebee's. That's where the
Mm-hmm.
boosters
Right.
hung out. Now it's like, no, our Lion boosters, we go to Ray's.
We go to
so
Ray's.
it's just
Yeah.
seeing,
Right.
which
That's
is
a
we're
good
just
point.
seeing
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
east side of
That's right.
town.
The east side of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's totally valid. I think that's, yeah, it's just interesting. And actually, so Kansas, like I live in Kansas City. We're like a big barbecue town, obviously. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't really have like a stake in the game.
Same.
But like I think that like Texas versus like Kansas City barbecue is kind of a thing. Like, but it's funny, we have a local, there's like a kind of more hole in the wall, like just family owned place called LC's. And it's just like very race. Like LC, like our LC's is raised. So it's just fun. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's LC's and it's Tyler's favorite barbecue spot. So
yeah, shout out to LC. I've been to Kansas City once. It like, as you were talking, I'm like, wait a minute, I went there for a work trip in 2020. Yeah. It was fun. I didn't have barbecue. But do you have any specific questions? Lots of people sent in questions, but I wanted to start with yours first. Yeah.
yeah, so when was the last time you filled out a paper application? I was like, whoa, throwback.
I feel like the only time I fill out paper applications is when I go to the doctor. And what I don't understand, and maybe Liz can fill us in because Liz works for an eye doctor. Why do you have to fill out the forms beforehand online, and then when you get there, you have to actually fill them out again?
I mean, we don't even have paper forms anymore. We just have people do everything electronic because we're supposed to be paperless. However, people still try and do their due diligence and print out the papers and then fill them out. And then I'm like, I don't actually need them now. But that's just us. So I don't know why they do that. And then every year you're supposed to sign like your consents, like your HIPAA and all that. Like you're supposed to do that every year and people get annoyed. And I'm like, well,
yeah,
you got to do this again. You got to consent again. Yeah, it's annoying. Paperwork is just annoying.
Yeah, I work for a profit health center here in Kansas City, and I'm not clinical in any way, but yeah, like there's that yearly stuff. You just have to do it. But yeah, I mean, we're moving to more digital stuff, but like, I mean, we still work in paperwork a little bit, but
yeah.
I mean, I haven't applied for a job in a while either, but I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. Like the last time I filled out a paper job application was like when I worked at the pool in my hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I think maybe like Gap Kids when I was in college. Like,
I think honestly
so
mine was probably Cold Stone, which was like what, 08 or something like that.
Right.
So it's been a while.
Oh, and also, so I was telling Tyler yesterday when we watched it, I was like, you know, as a young person, I remember like watching media and it always being this huge thing, like with teen pregnancy and like talking about abortion costs and all those things. And like as a like younger person, like I never personally had to like actually go down that road fully, but like I remember like that being kind of a fear of like, oh my God, like they're so expensive. I'll never, you know. And then you're like an adult and you're like watching these kids talk about, I need you to give me $150 because I can't, whatever. And I was like, oh my God. Like I know that that's a lot of money as a kid, and it's still a lot of money. I'm not saying that, but it's just so funny. Like looking back in those scenes as an adult, like those scenes just hit so differently. Yeah.
The perspective, the scope of it is.
And she is not gonna tell her mother.
Well,
so
we'll
it's
see.
not like, well, not yet at least, but you know, I guess if they did have a closer relationship, she could have said, hey Mom, I need the money, or like this is my situation. But yeah, $300 to a 16-year-old, that seems like a lot of dough.
Yeah. And like, honestly, like I would be in her position. Like I probably wouldn't have told my parents either. Like I probably would have tried to do it like under the radar. And like I had jobs, but like my parents watched my bank account. So like I could have taken out that money, but then they would have been like, what did you take out $150 for? Like, what did you need that for? You know?
Right.
Like
you would need cash under the table.
Yes. Like so crazy. It's so funny. Like looking back, it shows that that you were, I didn't watch at the time, but like you would have been watching at their age. And then I'm
Oh,
like
yeah.
30 watching this show.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so different. So,
Yes, it is.
and then, I thought you guys would appreciate my like Lorelai call out. So Tammy walks in with like her wrap dress, and I was like, oh my gosh, so Lorelai right now. Can we even? I mean, she looked
Yes.
great, first of all, but
Yes, she's
I was
such a
like,
babe. She could
ugh.
rock anything, but
Oh,
I
I
love
know.
that.
Yes,
I
and
love
she is
that.
such a babe. And Tyler, like every time we watch an episode or like talk about Friday Night Lights, like he's like, Tammy Taylor's my hall pass. Like every time. I'm like, I know.
Same.
I
Me
get it.
too.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm like,
She's
yes,
all of our hall
her
passes.
coach, whatever. Like, doesn't,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And like Connie Britton does not age. Like today, she still looks exactly like
No,
that.
it's
So
great.
beautiful.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, he like reminds me every time we watch an episode. He's like, God, Tammy Taylor. I was like, but he's like specifically Tammy Taylor. Like,
I get it. I get
like,
it.
Same. I get it.
I didn't know that Tinker's name was Dallas. That's what I wrote down. I was like, oh, he has a first
Nope.
name.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Not just Tinker.
yeah.
No idea who they were talking about for like 5
Oh, I know,
minutes.
same. I was like, so I literally wrote down Tinker's name is Dallas?
See, I was like, Dallas, question mark?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, wait, never mind. They answered it. But
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they called him Tinkerbell. Oh my God.
I know.
Tinker, I know, I loved that.
I know.
It cracked me up.
He's one of my fave characters of the later seasons. So,
Same. All right, let's go into some questions from our listeners. We'll start with Mike. He asked, do you think Katie and Joe's split was meant to happen story-wise, or do you think they just couldn't get the actor? I personally don't know. I don't know, obviously Liz doesn't know you're a newbie. I don't know if you did research on that, Molly, since you are ahead. I said, and earlier we talked about this when we were going over the episode, I think it was just thrown in there as a device to show that the Taylors need nurturing in their relationship.
Yeah, I think it was both. Like, okay, Katie hasn't been around. Maybe we couldn't get the actor. Maybe not, but let's just sum it up here.
mhm.
Right. And we're not focused on the McCoys anymore. So there's no
God,
need.
I hope it's like
Yeah.
by
Right.
by season 4 they're out of here.
Right,
I
right.
Season
know.
4.
God, they were
Yeah.
so unlikable. And like, I'm fine with having unlikable people in my shows, but I just like, ooh, they really ground my gears.
Yeah.
Whatever the saying is. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Michelle. Like it's like a device of like, she's like, hey, did you know they were getting a split? And she's like feeling distant and all those things. So maybe it just feels out of context for me, but I was also kind of like, why are we even talking to him? Like, what I don't understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to go off of that, and this is actually, if works well with Mike's next question of, should Tammy have told Coach that Glenn tried to kiss her? Like, do you think we also needed that device? Like, did we need Glenn to come back to say to Coach, like, hey, I kissed Tammy, you didn't know?
Nope.
Like, did you think that was necessary? So there's like,
we didn't need both. Just one would have been fine.
Yeah, which like the kiss thing probably for me at least felt more relevant because it was like a bigger thing. Like just
Yeah.
randomly bringing in Joe to be like, also he kind of used that manipulatively like to try and get JD out of trouble. I feel like to be like, well,
Yeah, he
since
sure
split,
did.
of course, you're just I just hate him.
Nick Dick.
But I agree, you
Mhm.
probably don't need both. And for me, the kiss thing felt more relevant. And also like I super enjoyed watching Coach respond to Glenn, like the laugh manically and like the scratch of the head, like with
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh my God, he's acting the heck out of this. I just thought it was hilarious. So
Do you think that Tammy should have told him?
I would have said something just because like I would like have struggled to keep that like
Yeah.
to myself. But also Coach is like a hothead. So I think that like if she would have come home that night and told him, like he would have gone in his truck and like driven over and like, punched Glenn in the face. So I don't know. She honestly was probably not telling him more out of like preservation of Glenn than even out of her own like relationship.
Oh, for
Because
sure. I mean, she says like, "Oh no, did you hit him?" And he's like, "Why do you care about him?"
yeah. I'm sure her whole life she's had to deal with like people hitting on her doing things because she's so, amazing
Yeah.
and gorgeous and all of those things. But now if Glenn were to do something again, I feel like she would have had to say something like, hey, I just
Right.
think
Like it's continuing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Psycho Derek, who we know him from One Tree Hill. He's Ryan in this episode, played by Matt Barr. But Mike says Psycho Derek in another teen drama. That makes 3. Which of his portrayals have you liked the best? How long do you think he'll be around for? Jacqueline also wants to know.
Not even till the end of the season.
Okay.
We're on episode 9. We have 3 more. Hey, you know what? Let's give it to the end of the season.
Okay.
And I think by then they'll both have decided, like, we knew it was what it was, and now we're done with it.
Yeah.
Because she's going to go to college.
And he works for Habitat for Humanity, right? So that travels around.
Right. How old is he? Could be a cringe situation again. But
I know, because
okay.
it's like it's not clear whether he's like in college or has graduated college or didn't. I mean, obviously not going to college is an option, but yeah, it's not
right. College age.
Yeah, college aged or maybe even like recently graduated. Yeah, I don't know. I've not watched him in anything else.
Oh, right. Yeah, you have. So you don't know him as anything else except for Ryan.
Yeah. I also I mean, he didn't do anything wrong, but I also even considered him for my shittiest because he was like, let's go to lunch. And then she's like doing a kiss and said, he's like, yeah, totally. Like, oh, come on. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. She asked. It wasn't like he did anything creepy, but there was just
right. It was like consensual. Yeah. She started the conversation, but I totally get what your head's at with that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you didn't actually want to get lunch. You just wanted to get closer to her.
That's true. Maybe okay, so that's another way of looking at it. Yeah. So we obviously prior discussed this, and while we were proud of Julie, I said if it was reversed, we would have been like, fuck this guy. All he wants to do is hook up. But maybe you're right in the sense of, hey, you want to get some lunch, hoping it will lead somewhere.
Right. And he obviously
somewhere
did it more like the nicer way to do it is like, hey, let's get to know each other. So right. He's not actually shitty. I just was like, I don't know. Tyler and I also were like anti-Julie, which is maybe not like, I don't know, like common feeling, but we're just like very anti-Julie.
No, that is a common thing. Julie is not well liked across the Friday Night Lights fandom.
Probably like a pretty good portrayal of a teenager, right? But like as a result, I'm like, don't like you. And so like a lot of her plot lines, like I'm just like, whatever, don't care. Like, so Ryan didn't stand a chance with me because he's just tied to Julie.
Yeah. I don't really feel as though I necessarily care about this situation either. Like it doesn't affect me either way what happens with it. Yeah, I mean, Julie is not my favorite either, but I feel like her storylines that don't revolve around Matt are like, oh, not so great.
Yeah, like
I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like kind of wondering. I mean, obviously she's coaching Tammy's kids, so she has to be there. Like she hasn't graduated. She has to stick around because we know that they're still there, so she has to be somewhere. But I'm also kind of like, I don't really understand the point of this storyline. Like, honestly, this is going to sound so bad and gross because we were just saying like the age thing is weird. But honestly, like it would have been more interesting if like it wouldn't have been so like normal and consensual and whatever. Like do something like make it steamier or something so that we can like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Or just don't have it. I don't know. One of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just to get her to the next of let's see her rebound and get over Matt, and we still have to deal with Matt at some point. So
of course we do. I feel like, and this is nothing against Julie as a person, but the fact that this guy, Ryan, who I'm sure has built lots and lots of homes with other people, of course is like, that girl's cute. Like, of course, like for story purpose, it's Julie. That's the cute one. Like, it could have been anyone there, but of course it was Julie. So it was like a little predictable and frustrating that like that's what we do next with her in a way. A gripe, just a little gripe.
Yeah, and I obviously like watched a little bit past, and so I know some of the things to come, but And like Tyler said this when we were watching it last night as well. It's like Julie doesn't have a storyline that doesn't involve a guy.
Right. Since the beginning.
Like she goes to the like gay bar with Devin. Like, cool, let's go somewhere, like let's make them friends. And like when she was like friends with Tyra, like I guess that's a plot. Like I'm not giving credit, but like I loved that friendship. I was like, oh, I like Julie because she's giving Tyra a chance, like because I love Tyra. So, but it makes me not like, because it's well written for the most part, but it makes me not like Julie more. I'm like, you're so obsessed being connected to a guy that like you're so, I don't know. She like makes bad decisions.
Yes. I very much agree.
Yeah, wow. That's very eye-opening, Molly. I mean, now thinking about it, it would have been great to just see her do this Habitat for Humanity that Tammy kind of forced her to do. And she got enjoyment from doing that.
Right.
And no guy.
Exactly. Or like just had this guy as a friendship, and we're like,
And they talked.
you know, you really inspired me, and
Right.
you got me over this hump in my life and this breakup, and like, why did we have to go romantic? And like, thank you, Molly, for bringing up Tyra, because
Yeah.
other than that, you don't remember her having any other storylines besides being surrounded with Matt, which granted, we did love them as a couple, and I think they could have had and might still have a very good relationship. But then we have the Swede, and then we had her teacher, and then like it was like just all these guys, and it's just very boring and tiring. And the fact that we're now just jumping into another potential relationship, it's like, ugh, can we just have something different for her?
Yeah.
So it makes her a little bit unlikable, even though it's not her fault.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like now I'm like doubling back. I'm like, maybe I just don't like Julie because of the plot line she was given.
Right.
But also,
Right.
you know, like that's the name of the
I know,
game
it's like a
with the
full
TV
circle
show.
moment.
I know.
Right.
Yeah. Jacqueline, she wants to know, did either of you have a job where you had to clean toilets? I feel like it's such a first job trope, but I definitely cleaned toilets at my first job at a grocery store.
Hell no.
Yeah, I
Hell
never did.
no.
I didn't have to clean toilets at the deli. That was my first like job besides pet sitting and babysitting.
Yeah, I've had 2 jobs where I've had to clean toilets. So
Oh.
and one is like chiller than the other, but I actually, when I was in the 5th grade, my parents, we moved within the same town, but my parents opened up a bed and breakfast. And so I actually worked at the bed and breakfast for like the whole rest of the time that I was at home. And so obviously like you had to clean the rooms and, you know, change the sheets and clean the bathrooms and all that stuff. Now it was only like a 3-bedroom B&B, so it was like small. You're not like getting into like crazy messes like you would at like, you know, a hotel or something. But then I think I mentioned actually earlier, I worked at the pool. And so I did that for like a handful of years all through high school and like first year of college. And there were like some like opening shifts and then like closing shifts and stuff that you had to do, like, you know, cleaning and whatever. And so like honestly, like for the most part, we kind of just like, because it was all so wet everywhere anyway, we honestly just like hosed everything down.
There you go.
You
That's a good
know,
way
I would
to
do
do
the
it.
so it
same
wasn't like
thing.
Yeah.
what Vince was doing, which was like, you know, like on your, like on your knees scrubbing. And so it wasn't quite that like intimate.
Will has some trivia. The community organizer in this episode played one of the central characters of season 1 of The Wire, D'Angelo Barksdale. Another reason why you should watch that show. I've watched the first season of The Wire. We've talked about this.
I haven't, and I'm like honestly embarrassed by it because it's like totally my type of show and I just need to watch it. You just have to be in the right like mindset to watch it. But I know it's amazing and it's like absolutely up my alley, so I just need to watch it.
That's exactly why I haven't gone back, because I'm not in really the mindset to watch that important type of show.
Yeah.
And I'll admit that. Okay, so Vic sent over some rapid fire for you. Are you ready?
Okay, let's see how rapid I can be. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Tyra or Lila?
Tyra, for sure.
Tim or Jason?
Tim, for
Who's
sure.
Who's your crush?
I mean, Tim problematically and like Coach.
Who'd be your best friend?
Good question. I mean, I would like to say Tyra just because I think she's like such a badass and I love her. I mean, as like an adult, like Tammy, because like now I'm adult. So it's like I look at it a little differently. But in high school, like, you know, Tyra, or I don't know, like maybe even like a little bit of Matt, but then like there would also be some of like Jason in there. Like, I don't know, I kind of like blurred the lines of like cliques, if you will. So like it was kind of all across the board. But I'm gonna go with Tyra because I just admire her.
Okay. Becky or Julie as Tim's friend?
I guess.
I mean, he never hit on Julie, but I just like Becky better. So
Okay.
I guess
Yeah.
Becky.
Landry or Vince?
Oh,
I
what a
know.
conundrum. I mean, for Jess or like just in general?
I think, according to you, for Molly.
I'm gonna go Vince for Jess. And then like in general, I will go Landry just because we've known him longer.
That's fair. Yeah. And then F, marry, friend zone, Tim, Matt, or Jason?
F Tim. Marry Matt, friend zone Jason.
Yeah, I think that's what we'd have to do.
Yeah, that's my answer too. Yeah. Would you hire an ex-con depending on what they were arrested for?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's like becoming more of like a kosher thing these days. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
We have, organizations here in Kansas City, and I'm sure all across the nation, that are like specifically targeted towards like, people coming out and like figuring out how to like do life again. And so, yeah, I mean, I think like if there was like something with like an underage person, then obviously like they maybe shouldn't have a job that's like dealing with minors or something. I don't know, so there's like some obvious like lines to draw. I mean, especially in like Vince's situation, like he's such a young kid and it's just like he's just a result of like his circumstance. So it's like you have to give him a chance, right? So
right.
Yeah.
What about you, Liz?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for sending your questions. What was your favorite quote? Molly, we'll start with you.
Okay. Oh, I actually have two. I'm cheating as per usual. When Tim said I was due for a rinse. Ooh.
Yeah.
It was really funny, but also I was like, oi, you just know what that boy smells like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like if you think about it harder, like it's like a deeper like meaning to it, like in terms of coach evolving when they're at Carroll Park and like the other team is showing up and Tammy's like, hey, babe, whoa, I think we have a problem. And he's like, oh, that's just the other team. I loved that quote. I was like, anyway, I love that. I thought it was like just a cute, quippy response, but it was also like kind of showed his like comfortability with like his new situation, which I
Yeah, absolutely.
was going to tell you Tyler's.
Oh yes, Tyler's. Yes.
He said he loved when he was like it was problematic, but Buddy always kills him. So when he said me and her had some history before she played for the other team.
Oh my God.
Buddy.
The extra buddiness of this episode.
Okay, I only just had Tinker Bell because that really got me.
And then I had, do you know by proxy, I've now kissed Glenn.
Yes, that's a good one. I love it.
Coach. Yeah. Favorite coaching corner moment.
Yeah, Tyler and I had the same one, and it was when Coach like had that recruiting moment with the like 8th grade
too, with
kid.
Maurice.
Yes, Maurice. Yes.
Me too.
I loved that.
I teared. I like,
teared
got
too.
emotional.
Yeah, and I love that he like talked to the kid and was, and then he turned, was that guy's name Eldon or did I make that up? Okay.
Eldon.
He turned to Eldon and was like, you make sure he shows up, okay? Like I just like I loved it. I mean, there's obviously you could say like that's a little selfish because Coach like wants a talented kid, but also like he's but like I just think like
I know what you mean.
We've seen it time and time again with Coach. Like he obviously has like he cares about winning and having a good team, but he also like cares a lot about like the kids and everything. So we both loved that moment.
Yeah, I think it just shows that Coach is like the ultimate coach. He's coming into this town and like I can see, in a few years, this kid joining his team and changing his life.
Yeah.
The trajectory of his life could be so different if he had someone who looks out for him like Coach does. And Coach just literally, for lack of better words, coaching these kids is really going to help keep them out of trouble. So it's all like a win-win for everyone, hopefully. So I really did love that moment.
I'm glad we all had that. Even Tyler. Like, it's unanimous.
Yes. Yeah. We normally don't have like the same answers, but it was just like it was so clear, I feel like.
Yeah. MVP and shittiest. Molly, who's your MVP?
So my MVP for the episode was Ray. I thought he like really like he's doing the right thing for, the town. Like he showed up, he was like so kind of standoffish and didn't really want to be involved when we met him. And he showed up to the like little meeting about Carroll Park and helped organize it and all that stuff. And like even when these like two like white guys roll in and they're like, we're gonna save everything, and then he's like, shut up, you are not. And also you're not doing it alone because they're not gonna, he's like, all right, let me get involved because like you're not gonna know how to do this. So I love that. And then he gave Vince the job, which like I think was probably against every instinct he had. So I loved that. And then I also gave a blue ribbon to Tim because I feel like we didn't see a ton of him, I felt like this episode, but he was like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I love Taylor Kitsch and and swoony over Tim, but he's like owning up to things and trying to make things right. And he like we saw him like be a little bit anxious about something for like kind of the first time I feel like ever. And I don't know, I just like he like cared enough about it to like try and fix it.
Who did Tyler choose?
Eldon.
Oh, nice. Good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liz?
I had Virgil. I loved everything about him. I feel like that was like what Molly said, like that just he felt as though he needed to do this, but he didn't have the tools, but he's still helping. And he really is softening up and gave the job to Vince, even though he really does not care for the kid. But like,
wait, is his name Virgil? Did I call him Ray?
Yes, but it's Ray's barbecue, right? Is that supposed to be his? Is that like his dad's name? Maybe
I'm not really sure. It's like Virgil, Big Mary, and then I think of him as Ray as well. Yeah.
It's like interchangeable.
Yeah.
Like literally, Liz, I was like, "Who's Virgil?"
And I'm like, "Yes, Ray, of course." Like, right? We both were like, "Oh, we know who you're talking about." Yeah.
That's really truly why I picked him. Was the reasons why you did as well, and I'm happy to see his growth, and I hope it continues more. I look forward to seeing maybe he could be more of a father figure to Vince after all, because Vince obviously doesn't have that person in his life currently. Yeah. So, yeah. Michelle?
Yeah, I chose Vince. I just was very proud of him in this episode. I feel like he went forward. He's had the courage to go to coach, like, hey, can you help me? Can you vouch for me? He got a job. He's doing really good at the job. He holds back with Jess. He holds back with Landry. Much respect to Landry. Okay, holds back with Calvin and his buddies. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, I had him as a blue ribbon. I was very proud of him as well.
Yeah. So I know we had trouble with shittiest. Liz, did you have a shittiest?
I actually just put McDick because like JD, even though he's not there, he's still a dick.
No, we had that. People wrote JD even though he really wasn't in this episode.
Because he's a disrespectful little fucking brat.
Right. Yeah.
Can you guys confirm something for me before Molly has her shittiest? Mm-hmm. Are we phasing them out because we haven't seen them in the last 2 weeks? We saw like a little bit of them to remember them here, but like it's okay. I thought that was a spider. It's okay.
They're not on the island.
Okay, I figured that, but are we like phasing them out?
Like there's a thing that's going to happen.
Okay. That's it. But that's all I need to know.
For the most part.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I said I wasn't going to make big predictions because I truly don't remember, but I know.
Well, you'd remember if they were like coming into next season, right?
I know that for sure. I can confirm that if you want, but.
Are they?
I won't. No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
It's interesting because like they were such good villains. So it's like interesting that like we didn't need those villains anymore. Yeah. But I did give a blue ribbon to Joe because I thought he was being really manipulative about the like, oh, well, the split and the whatever. I don't know. I just don't like him.
Yeah, same.
But my primary shittiest, I actually said Mayor Rodell because she won't turn the lights on.
Yes. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I couldn't come up with anything.
Yeah, I know. I put Calvin and his friends. Cop out. It's a cop out. Yeah.
And Tyler actually put Luke. which like I think is pretty like probably controversial. He was like, I think he was like into the first interaction he had with Becky where he was like, okay, like whatever, and then they're like, I think probably second where he was kind of like, I don't know that I'm comfortable with that. Like I'm gonna have to live with that, whatever. He was kind of, Tyler's like, I don't know, wrong move, man. Like don't try and like put your, like, this isn't about you, this is about her. So like don't. Anyway, so he picked Luke, which I thought was interesting. He doesn't like have any beef with Luke, but
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, because I didn't read it like that.
Same.
but-
I was like really okay with him at least giving his 2 cents. Like this kid is his,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And caring, like as a young boy.
Right. He
like,
could have been
even-
like, oh, gotta get rid of it. Oh, I can't live my life like that,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was interesting too, because like I kind of did the same thing. But like it was interesting because like Tyler had obviously the male perspective on it, which like
Yeah.
you would think would be kind of flip-flopped, right? And so I thought it was interesting he thought that. And maybe he was just putting himself in like those shoes. I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting.
Let's go into our booster of the week. Liz, who's our Lion booster?
Booster of the week. You're a total booster.
Our booster is Tish.
Tish.
Tish, I wanted to actually thank you on Mike for sending Michelle and I birthday presents. It's been a while since then, and we just wanted to thank you so much, and that we miss chatting with you. I know you're in and out because you're so busy, but we love when we get to hear from you and with your One Tree Hill goodness and all of the gossip and drama that's going on over there on that channel. But we just wanted to shout you out and say thank you, and that we are always love when we get to hear from you, and we love that you have continued your support, and we again appreciate all of your thoughtfulness.
Thank you, Tish. She sent us the most delicious smelling candles.
Yes.
And like little, you guys should check out her podcast, TV Deep Dive. I will link it in the show notes.
Yes.
And she talks about teen dramas and stuff. Definitely check it out. I also want to shout out Cambria for joining our Patreon.
Woohoo!
They joined the Clear Hearts tier. My brain just like went out. Liz saw that. Liz saw the train just leaving the station. But thank you so much for joining our Patreon. We appreciate you. Okay, so an emoji for this episode to pair. What are we thinking? I was thinking a light bulb for the light.
Okay. I also was thinking maybe like a pregnant person, but I feel like, did we use that before when Tammy was pregnant?
When Tammy was pregnant.
What else?
Molly, what do you think?
I never got to think about the emoji.
I always forget to think about the emoji. It's okay.
Yeah, I think either of those is good. I think for the purposes of like, putting it in an Apple review, the light bulb would maybe be easier to
It's true.
use.
That is true.
Like, light up your life with Total
There
Betty.
you go.
There you go. That's exactly what we're talking about. If you've made it this far, we always pair an emoji with the episode in hopes that you will leave us an Apple Podcast review. If you're enjoying the show over there, rate us 5 stars. You can use Molly's tagline. That would be amazing. Also, send us the emoji. We just want to know you're listening. You can send us an email, a DM on Instagram, in the Discord. We love when we get them. Just send us the emoji. You don't even have to send us any text. We just want to know you're listening. And it makes us so happy. So thank you. All right, Liz, I'm going to give you the title for next week. Next week, we are live.
We are.
So if you are part of our Patreon and you enjoy that sort of thing, you can come join us. We're going to watch the episode and then you can watch us talk about it live. Okay, so this is for season 4, episode 10, titled I Can't.
Okay.
And the quote is, "Why do you keep doing this to me? I mean, am I that bad, Vince?"
Oh. I was thinking we were going Becky there, like to Tim. Vince, yeah, to Jess for sure, because she's acting super weird around him, and I can tell, as we've mentioned, like, yes, there is a history, but like, why? Like, I want to hear from her mouth why she's so afraid to like give in to him. obviously we know Landry is there as well, but Vince is probably like, wait, maybe we have done this before and I don't really understand why you cut it off, or maybe I do understand, but like I don't think I'm that bad for you or that bad anymore or trying to get better, so can't you just see that I'm trying to get better? Yeah. I'm interested. Well, I mean, I think she's super great for Landry. I also just love Landry with anyone that he's with because he's such a good partner that he'll be great to anyone and they'll be great to him because he's so amazing. So I like them together because I feel like it's different and fun and fresh. And I feel like while he's really invested, he's not like Tyra invested, like this obsession, at least not yet. And maybe he learned his lesson and his heart will never heal truly. And he's like, can't let myself jump in with 2 feet because of that whole situation. So maybe he'll be like heartbroken, but like not enough where he's calling her and saying, I'll never forget about you kind of thing.
Right.
And maybe Jess and Vince will eventually try it.
Okay. Going off of what Liz said, Molly, I know you've watched ahead, so you know what happens. How do you feel about Landry and Jess? Do you like them as a couple where they are at now?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're really cute. I feel like Landry's always kind of like the unexpected love interest just because he is kind of like put up as like the nerdy, like weird band kid, whatever. So, and like Jess is obviously like has like a very different life than him. And so I mean, to your point too, Liz, like I like Landry with anyone because he's just such a good, likable guy that it's like makes like the transitive property of him makes the relationship likable. I just feel like, so I do like them together and I don't want Landry to get his feelings hurt because I love him. But I just feel like there's like, I can't even like explain it because we haven't really seen a ton yet. But like, I feel like Vince and Jess's chemistry is really good. So I don't know. I feel like I want to see that happen with them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like a Tim Lila situation where Tim like couldn't seem to get it together until Lila was like, all right, I will do this with you. And he was like, whoa, I needed that so much and I needed guidance. Where I feel like Jess is already been that inspiration in Vince's life, and especially obviously in his mother's life. Like everyone sees like, oh, Jess, she's gonna go places, she's driven, she's a good girl, she helps the family out, she's hardworking. And then Vince is like, wow, that's really attractive. I mean, obviously she's gorgina, so we know why he's attracted to her, and also of all the qualities that she holds. So I feel like already her being in his life changes him. So I can only imagine them being in a romantic relationship, that would just really go the distance. I'm hopeful. I'm here for it either way. I know I'm like a broken record with that. Like any couple, give me any couple, just not Becky and Tim. Just not Becky and Tim. The other couple, I'm cool. We're good. We're golden. Yeah. I'm fine.
Yeah. All right. We'll see what happens next week.
Yeah. I can't though. I mean, nobody asked me if they think she's going to have the baby or not. And I'd like to just give my 2 cents here.
Go ahead. Take the stage.
I would love to see a baby, obviously, because I'm pro babies all the time. Love babies. I'm also, pro-choice as well. So she can please do what's best for her life and body. I would think it would just be really interesting dynamic to bring a teen pregnancy into this mix. So I'm in a way hopeful for it, but also like can understand why it wouldn't happen too. Maybe it's just something that like shook her up. It's going to shake up the whole situation and we're going to go forward from there. But if I had to predict, she probably won't have the baby.
Okay.
Just
saying. Prediction. Last but not least, we do have Will's Football Poetry Corner. Strong side. The strong side of the field is half the field with the most offensive players. For example, if a team has a formation with 2 tight ends and 1 receiver on the left side is the strong side. This episode is where everyone shows their strong sides. Between Buddy, Julie, Vince, Landry, Luke, Becky, Coach Taylor, Tammy, Tim, the organizer, Virgil, everyone is following their moral compass and looking out for other people or taking a stand in their own personal lives.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's why we couldn't pick a shittiest, because everyone was doing their due diligence.
I know.
So
that was great. Will, thank you so much. Molly, thank you so much for being here.
Molly.
This is so
It was
fun.
so exciting. I love it.
Hopefully
I will talk Friday Night Lights like all the time.
Awesome.
My sister's like, you're obsessed. You have to stop talking to me about it.
Oh, well, no, that's what
So
we're
are
here
you
for.
liking where season 5 is going? And do you have like, obviously without telling me, but like, do you have like hopes for what you're going to see in the finale? Like, is it going a place where you feel like you could like see with the future in a way?
Yeah. I mean, I think that like, I don't know, like I am a little bit nervous that the finale is going to just be like full, like viewer, what's like, there's a term I'm looking for where it's like, they just like write something in like to like please the viewers. You know what I mean? So like I am a little bit nervous about that. Just because like you kind of want to rally the troops. But like I have faith in the writers. I think that they'll, do it justice. I think that the thing that I'm like the most interested in how it'll go down is like where we end up with Coach. Because I feel like the whole, I don't know, like there was the whole Team U thing, and like he's such a good coach, and I feel like I don't know, there would be like an easy, like, okay, Coach is like leaving high school coaching and is going on, like that's not a spoiler, like that doesn't happen as far as I know, and then they bring everybody back to like do some sort of tribute to Coach or something. So like that's how you get to see Smash and Jason and Matt and Tim and like everybody, and then like the current players, like kind of everybody in the room or something. I have no idea if that happens or not. That's just
I would love it.
I can see that happening.
Who's currently like your favorite character in season 5? Like whose storyline have you enjoyed the most so far?
That's a good question. I feel like I really continue liking Jess a lot. I think she's like a really strong female character, like opposite of Julie in the way where we're saying like she just has to be with a guy and blah 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 whatever. Like Jess is very like, she has her own moral compass. She like sticks to what she believes in. She stands up for what she believes in. She has like really good priorities. She's just like passionate and smart and all those things. I just really really like her a lot. So she's one of my favorite characters moving into season 5.
Okay, that's why I wanted you to just give me a little taste of what to expect, and I'm really excited for that. Yeah. Do you remember, Michelle?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, if she remembers.
And I love the finale, the series finale. So I hope when I rewatch it, for this podcast and with you guys, and I wasn't dissecting it and discussing it and nauseum, right? But I hope I feel the same way.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, because we've loved every minute of it thus far.
I remember Aunt and I were both really like, we were satisfied and happy with it. So it would be weird if I was like, oh my God, I hate this.
Yeah.
We need a rewrite. Yeah.
Right.
But thank you again, Molly. We so appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Molly.
You're just a wonderful guest. And hopefully you win the guest spot again so you can come back and talk with us.
Yeah. Come back season 5.
Yeah. I feel like my opportunities for FNL is like dwindling, but like, we've got 7 more seasons of We Are Liars. So
true.
Come check us out on We Are Liars if you're a Talking Texas Forever
There
fan.
she goes. We don't pay any of them, we swear, but they always seem to give us some promo.
They just promote for us. They're amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, come back next week. We'll be discussing episode 10, I Can't.
Thank you so much for listening to Talking Texas Forever, a Friday Night Lights podcast. You can email us at talkingtexasforever@gmail.com. If you're interested in seeing what we do with this show and all of our others, head over to Instagram at Total Betty Podcast Network.
This has been a Total Betty podcast, produced and edited by Michelle Rubenstein and Alyssa Tenio, music by Anthony Vacora.